So the objective of this assignment is to create a little zine, and the zine is going to be about an emotion and a journey. So I picked anxiety, and you can see that it is about a journey that has to do with anxiety. Okay, and I'm going to show you exactly how to create a zine and how to make it so that you can reproduce your artwork. So as you can see, when you fold it, some of the pages will be upside down, and you have to figure out the order of the pages. So I'm going to show you exactly the process for creating this zine. First, you take the paper and you fold it in half the long way. Then you fold it in half the short way. Then you're going to open it up and fold the edges into the middle. And then you're going to fold it in on itself again. Flip it over, and you need the flaps to be facing out and the middle to be pinched up. And you're going to make a cut along one of those folds right in the middle. And then when you fold it, then you're going to label the pages. If you don't do it while it's folded, half the stuff is going to be upside down, or it's not going to be in the correct order, but lightly in pencil. So now, when I open it, I know which part is facing up and which part is facing down. Now notice the one, I put that little line on the bottom of it. If you don't do that, you're not going to know which way it's facing. So knowing which parts are upside down is extremely important. As you start to fill in the different pages with your drawing, make absolutely sure that you erase the pencil first, then do your drawing, but you make sure it's facing the correct way so you don't have to do the whole thing over. So I'm going to start with the front cover, and because it's Sharpie, I'm going to put another piece underneath it so that it doesn't bleed through. And that's the other reason why the whole thing needs to be unfolded when you draw it. If you draw the pictures and you start with the cover and all that while it's all folded up, the marker is going to bleed through to the next page and it's going to ruin your design. So I've decided the emotion that I'm picking is anxiety, and I'm not really sure what the journey is going to be about. I'm actually making it up as I go along. So it turns out that the cover ultimately ended up having nothing to do with what was inside the book. But I was feeling anxious when I created the artwork, and sometimes just feeling an emotion while you're doodling, whatever you're feeling comes through in your picture. So sometimes it's an interesting exercise to not over-plan your artwork and to just see what happens. That's exactly what I did here. I knew it was going to be about a journey, and I knew that journey was going to be about anxiety, but I wasn't really sure what the story was going to be about until I drew it. The other rule for this assignment is that you may not include words. It has to be a journey about an emotion, and you may not include any words describing what was going on in the story. The pictures have to tell the tale. You may also go back to earlier frames in this story, and you may add ideas that make the story more cohesive. So at a certain point, I decided that the person, instead of carrying a cane, would be carrying an umbrella. And I decided that my little shadow man would look more distinctive if he was wearing a hat. So making sure that one character in all the stories, in all the frames, was wearing a hat and carrying an umbrella kind of connected the little thread and made the story more coherent. Now, again, I really wasn't sure whether the story was going to have a happy ending. I wasn't sure if the story was going to be realistic or sort of a fantasy until I started drawing, and just whatever came out, came out. So eventually I decided that he would be traveling down a river in his umbrella. I don't know where I got the idea, but then I went back and I added in the umbrella and all the other pictures. And now I have to turn the picture upside down in order to complete the story. And I decided, oh, he's got an umbrella. Maybe I should make it raining. So then logically, he completes his journey. The sun's coming out. He's on the edge of the river. And he looks up and he realizes he's finally gotten to the sunshine and his journey has a happy ending, and he's crying tears of gratitude. And then the back cover is where I sign my name and put the copyright and the year. Then I just fold it up and check it, make sure my story is coherent, and then I can go back and put in other details to make sure the story makes sense. Once you're done, you're going to use the Adobe Scan app in order to scan your artwork. And then you're going to put that PDF into Google Classroom. And the reason why we do that is so that we can print out copies, and it's the copies that will get color added to them. The original should not have color in it because we want to be able to run it off on a copy machine. And that is the basics of how you make a 6-page zine with a front and back cover for 8 pages total out of a single sheet of paper, and create a coherent story without any words that includes an emotion of your choosing and a journey that you make up.